Welcome to our next module. In this module, we're going to talk about important things from the Substitute Teacher Handbook. There's also going to be a PDF copy of the handbook that's going to be in a downloadable copy that will be here in the training program. I do recommend that you download that and have a copy that you can refer to with policy and procedural things while working for the school district. So the first thing that we're going to go over is a couple of important things with your employment with the school district. As a substitute teacher that you're working on the substitute teacher list, this is not a contract of employment or an offer of a contract of employment. This is not a promise of employment for any length of time or under any particular conditions. So having your name on the sublist is not a guarantee to work, as you are a temporary at-will employee whose services are utilized on an as-needed basis. Substitute teachers may be removed or may resign from employment and the subteacher list with or without cause at any time. What this just means in simple terms is, as a substitute teacher with the school district, we cannot guarantee that you're going to work a certain amount of hours per week. It's going to be depending on what job assignments we have and if you are willing to accept those jobs that we have available. Another thing on that is you can be taken off the list if you want to be removed at any time. Just let us know if you no longer want to work as a substitute, or you can be removed, with or without cause. The second thing is substitute teacher work performance issues are reported to the Human Resources Department. Based on the severity nature of the complaint, a sub may be restricted from substituting for a certain teacher at a certain school or may be immediately terminated. If there's any cases that we receive that something's happened in the classroom, we will give you a call and we would want to set up a meeting with you so that we could go over the case, and then based on that conversation we may need to restrict you from subbing at for a certain teacher at a certain school, or in extreme cases we may have to just completely take you off the list. It doesn't happen very often, but I wanted to let everybody know on that. Okay. Next thing that we are frequently asked is, what is the pay for a substitute teacher? And so as of right now, a sub-teacher is paid based on what their skill level is. And so a certified substitute is someone that has a current state of Idaho teaching credential. Other teaching credentials from other states are not accepted for this level. It has to be an Idaho teaching credential that is current and valid. That's going to be the highest rate, which is a certified teacher. The next one is a degreed substitute. This is a substitute that has a 4-year degree or higher, so this also includes your master's degrees or your PhDs, but this would be under that second category of a degreed substitute teacher. And then the third one is your non-degree substitutes. So this would be a substitute that either has an associate's degree or may have some college classes but does not have a degree. Okay, and so then the rate of pay that a substitute receives for the jobs will be based on what level of substitute teacher that you are. So if you want to contact the substitute teacher coordinator, she'd be able to let you know the rate of pay that corresponds to the substitute teacher levels. Long-term substitute teacher positions will be decided by the teacher and the principal at the school. So if you're a long-term substitute teacher, you will be chosen by the school administrator and the teacher in the school for those. One thing to note with the rate of pay on those, the rate is going to increase after you work your first 10 continuous days as a substitute teacher in that classroom. So if you're working for a month as a long-term substitute teacher for a teacher over at Rocky Mountain Middle School, and it's consecutive days with no breaks in it, it'd be the first 10 days would be the regular substitute teacher pay that you receive based on your level. And then the 11th and subsequent days would be at the higher level of pay as a long-term substitute teacher. If there is, say, a sickness that happens in between, one of those consecutive days, you would need to coordinate with your administrator at the school to see if that's going to affect your long-term pay. And if you have any questions of that, please contact the sub-coordinator and she can help you with that. With substitute teacher wages, if a substitute teacher reports to a substitute teacher assignment and finds out that the assignment has been canceled, the school district does guarantee you 2 hours of paid compensation in the event that the job is canceled without notice. What this means is if I'm a substitute teacher scheduled to work over at Rocky Mountain Middle School, I get to the school in the morning and they say, "Oh, we apologize, but the assignment has been canceled." The school district would put in 2 hours of work for you for that day. A couple of notes on this is just for the substitute teacher positions, and we would still want you to stay at the school and help out at the school for that 2 hours. So it doesn't mean you can just leave and you'll get 2 hours of credit for no work. We would still have you stay, and you'll probably be helping out in the office or something, but you would also get the 2 hours of pay for that. The next thing to note is the paraprofessional positions are paid at a rate of $8.50 an hour. I know that the screen says $8 an hour, but the rate has just changed that it's $8.50 an hour. So all paraprofessional positions, no matter what the position is, the rate of pay is $8.50 an hour. Again, if you're a substitute teacher, the rate of pay is if it's a substitute teacher position, the rate of pay is going to be based on your skill level that we had just gone through on a previous slide. You are responsible as a substitute for reporting your time worked on Time Clock Plus. Couple questions that are commonly asked is, well, what do I do if I work during prep time or lunchtime? If it is time that you're working with students or you're in the classroom prepping for the next classroom, please continue to put that time in Time Clocks Plus. However, if it's a lunchtime that you take off and you go down to the teacher's lounge and eat lunch, you will need to go to the time clock and clock out during that period of time. So it is on your honor on that please keep accurate recording of your time that you are actually working as a substitute teacher. Compensation for substitute teachers is going to be based on the time that is in Time Clocks Plus. The time is submitted to the payroll department at the end of the month, and then payment is made on the 20th of the month following the submission of the time from Time Clocks Plus. So if you worked hours in March, you would receive pay for that time on April 20th. Same thing if you worked in April, the pay for that month would be in May. And so what you just want to do is when you clock in and out, when you clock out of Time Clocks Plus, make sure that you also are confirming the time that you worked. And we'll be showing you how to do that on another video. If you do want to have access to what your pay stubs look like, if you go into the school district website at d93schools.org and you click on staff, go down to iVision's web portal and log in. You'll put your username or password, or if it's the first time logging in, you'll need to click register. You can go into this program and it's going to show you can go month to month what your time card, or not your time cards, what your pay stub was, what your rate of pay was, what the taxes were taken out. That's a really good resource. So if you need verifications, you can go through there as well. A couple things just really quick. When you arrive at the school for your substitute job, make sure you always check in with the office. Make sure that you are also clocking in on Time Clocks Plus. The office would give you the room key and any special instructions that are happening that day. So is there additional duties? Is there a fire drill? Is there an assembly? Make sure that you're clocking in for your time card, just so we have an accurate punch for the time that you came into work. Once you do that, go to your classroom, and you're going to want to go over your lesson plans, just so you know what things are happening that day. Also, it's encouraged to look over your evacuation plans, so your fire, school evacuation, and lockdowns, just so you know what to do in those circumstances. One thing to note as well, if it's, say there's a big snowstorm or rain and school has been canceled on the radio, please, you don't have to go back into, you don't need to go into work for days that school is closed due to inclement weather. So please pay attention to that on the radio or on the district website. If they say that school has been closed, you don't need to go in and work for that day. At the end of the day, please straighten up the classroom for preparation for the next day. Please write something to the teacher to let them know what happened in the classroom during their absence. Key things to include in that would be material that was covered, if there was any problems in the classroom, were there students that were helpful, anything like that. And then you can go clock out with the school secretary, return the room key. Again, make sure you're verifying your time, that was correct. If it shows you worked 6 hours that day, make sure that it shows that you worked 6 hours that day. Workman's Compensation. This is if you ever are injured while you're working as a substitute teacher. This is just going to go through the different steps that you need to follow. So administer first aid as necessary. Please notify the substitute teacher coordinator. They're going to then contact Michelle Gonzalez, that she's going to be the one that will need an incident report. She may contact you and say, I need to have you fill this out so that we have record of it, and if you do go for medical attention, we have it on file to send with our Workman's Comp carrier. If you do need to go for medical attention, please go to Ready Care. There's the one over on Utah, or the one over by the hospital on Channing Way. Or you can go to the Blackfoot Medical Clinic, Shelley, Firth, or Upper Valley Medical. If it's an emergency room, that one needs to be authorized by the supervisors. So they will get in contact with Michelle, and she will let you know if that's okay on that. But you do need to have a incident report completed within 48 hours so that we can get that submitted if there is medical attention that was needed for that. So we can get that to our Workman's Comp coordinator, or to our Workman's Comp people. And that will end this session for Aesop. If you do have any questions, please contact the substitute teacher coordinator, and she would be happy to help you with those. Thanks, and we'll see you at our next video.